Oh,
Oh,
12 by 10 starting to look bigger than we thought. Well guys, welcome back to Red River Living. Today, as you can tell, it's overcast, kind of dreary. We're expecting some rain today. So we're working on a project inside the shop today. And we are working on our broiler shelters. And I'm getting my ideas from Polyface Designs, which is Joel Salatin. And I bought his book, and inside his book, it lays out all the cut plans, all the material you need, and everything. So that's kind of where I'm getting my ideas from. It's not me as an original, but he put this book out there for this reason, for people that were calling and asking about it. So him and another guy went together, and I think it was Chris Slattery, and they went together and put this book out for people like me getting started in this homesteading project stuff. As you can tell, I got my wood vault right here. We've started cutting on a few things already inside the shop, but we're getting started. So in our cut plans, it gave us directions on buying like 1x6s and 2x4s. But instead of using 1x6 and 2x4s, what we're doing is we're splitting those in half. And Joel explains that in the book. The reason we're splitting this lumber in half is to decrease the weight of these shelters, because these shelters are designed to be moved manually. You don't need equipment to move them. These are designed for you to go out and move them by hand. So he gave us buying plans to buy 1x6s, but we'll in turn rip these down to 1x3s when we cut them. You make it? Can you throw that in the trash can? Thank you. Okay. Here you go. Let him try with that. Oh, your pencil fell? Well, let's put it back in then.
Okay.
You just ain't got enough ears.
you gonna help me hold it?
Are you getting it? Yes, I am. Got it.
You want to see if Bubba can grab it now? Oh,
Pull.
you're
Pull.
getting it.
You got it. You're getting it. Pull. Good job.
All right, throw it in
Thank
the trash
you.
can. Throw it in the trash.
Thank you, boys. That was a lot of help.
Well, guys, as you can see right here at my feet, we've ripped all of our boards at this time. We went ahead and ripped enough material for 2 pens. And give or take, you can run about 75 meat chickens per pen, so that'd be 150. My goal this year, I'm gonna probably try to do 50 in each pen. That'll give us 100 meat chickens, which is more chickens than we will eat between our families. But hopefully I'll have some neighbors want to come over and maybe help us process the chickens, and in turn just pay for the cost of them. But the big goal here was for us to have some meat chickens and to start working on our soil. There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle and what we're trying to accomplish here. So the chickens are one for meat, but we're also trying to build our soil up and everything. So right now we are cutting everything to length. We are building 2 broiler shelters at the same time. So we're just doubling up our cuts and trying to speed things up by making the cuts all at the same time. Well, guys, that wraps up all of our cut list right now. So we are about to start assembling stuff. I want you to kind of look behind me right here, though. This really is our scrap, and this is the scrap from 2 pins, not just one. So it's not very much scrap lumber going by the cut list. As we start assembling this, we'll see just how everything goes. So as you can tell today, I got lots of help. My brother-in-law came out from Mississippi and he thought he was going to sit around on the back porch and everything, and I got him down on his hands and knees and working now. I told him he was going to be in the movies. I said he could play an extra. He didn't have to talk.
Like that?
How big is this supposed to be?
It's bigger than what I thought it was.
Hold on, say when he's ready.
Okay.
Very good. Just push it. That's good.
You hold it back out.
Pull it out. Pull it. Turn it on.
Keep turning it.
Turn it. Pull it out. There you go. All right. We don't want to run this too far, so. Go, go, go. Good.
Good job, Brayden.
Another one.
Do the. Oh, good job.
Here, switch.
Okay, good job. Well, guys, as you can tell, I've got my 2 best little helpers with me this afternoon. But we're coming right along. As you can see, we're working on the first pin here. It's kind of laid out here out on the front side of the shop. And as Debbie said, 12 by 10 starting to look bigger than we thought. Good job.
Let me look at the book, please.
All right, good. Keep going and pull it back.
So you got it going backwards.
Way to go.
Turn it the other way. You hit your button on it. There you go. Right now, put it to it. Cool. Good job.
Good try.
Well, guys, as you can tell, we've gotten one framed up. The pieces started adding up as we started putting it together, but it's gotten a lot sturdier. We were just putting 1 screw every time the board hit it, and I thought, surely we need 2 screws. But hey, somebody designed this for a reason the way they did, and as we started putting all our brace pieces in, it's really firmed up and gotten really steady. And to be honest with you, I thought it was going to be a lot lighter than it is, but it's actually turned out to be fairly heavy. We'll see if it withstands the winds out here.
So the 30 seconds it took me to step over there was a lot cheaper than the
Hey.
It's all there.
and it held together real well.
Thing's big.
Joe Salatin said you're supposed to be able to raise 75 chickens in it. Another guy said he thought 50 were a lot better than trying to raise 75 in it. But
I say 50. I agree.
I don't want to clean 150 chickens this year. Well, guys, after putting the first one together, kind of getting an idea of what we were doing, in just a short amount of time, we've assembled the second one, got it braced up and everything. So next step right here is we're fixing to get our roll of wire out and start putting our wire around the side of it. Well, guys, as you can see, it's nice and sunny out today, a little cool, but we've got our framework done on our meat chicken pen, and now we're measuring out for our tin, getting it cut. We're doing some pre-cutting right now for our sides, cutting our off our sides and then cutting it for our length for our top right here. You can tell right here we've measured out at 22.5 on our sides. We'll use our board down here at the bottom to keep us up off the ground to kind of give us a little bit of coverage from our ground to our tin. So guys, what we've done is we've gone to Home Depot and bought our tin. I had some scrap tin we used on the first pen we built. This second one, I went and bought us new tin for this. And I bought 12-foot sheets, and we're cutting off on each sheet to try to eliminate as much waste as possible. I've already cut this sheet here. Now we're at 76, just under 76, 75 3/4. I'll be able to cut 3 pieces, and these 3 pieces are for our sides as we start wrapping it. And right now we're just doing some pre-cutting on some stuff. We still got to attach our chicken wire around the base of this pen in just a minute. But right now the whole goal is trying to eliminate as much waste as we can. Tin's rather expensive, so if we can utilize it, then that's what we're going to try to do here today. So guys, right now what we're about to start doing is we're going to start attaching our wire around the sides here. The wire goes on before our tin goes on. The tin, I was just prepping some of that for us to be able to get started with. So now we're going to start stapling our wire to our sides now.
Is that candy cane good?
All right, so we've got our wire around it. We just finished encasing our side and part of our back with our metal. So the next step here is we may go ahead and make us a door for the back end right here to where we can close this off at night. Or if it's cold weather, we could close just to keep the wind out of it. But I may go ahead and do that before we put the lid on it, just so it's easier to see what we're up to right here. Next part will be our roof.
So while they're trying to figure out some measurements, what we're working on is one of the front pieces. It's for the lids. So we're just getting it prepped, and all they're gonna have to do is just screw metal onto it.
Now you're just this black shadow, but that's okay.
See if we can do a happy medium.
Happy medium.
Just kind of a pan across the whole top. Well, as you can tell, we've got our pieces cut for our top. We got over here to the edge, and we just zipped off this side over here. We're going to end up using the piece from this side to cover up this gap you see back here in dead middle of it. So as you can tell, we've got our permanent tin has been screwed down. Now we're working on the lids up here on the front. To save a little bit on our tin, we're kind of deviating for the measurements from the book. Our doors are built the same, but our tin only covers 3 feet, so it's going to leave us with a gap right here This gap we're going to cover with chicken wire so that it's covered. But rather than waste another $60 piece of tin, we're just going to modify the plans just a little bit here.
How many eggs did you get? 14.
Look at that bucket full of eggs.
Wow.
So now we're working on our second door. The one door is basically covered with tin steel. This door here is solid screen. This door, instead of being screwed together, is bolted together. I guess in time, this is the door that gets opened a lot, so that's why it's bolted together versus screws. But this will be a screen door so that 3/4 of your pen is basically covered with tin. And then they've got one panel that's open to where they can get out and get in the sun if they need to. And right now, all I'm doing is just putting them in and keeping them loose so that we can kind of square this in just a minute before we put our side brace in it. Well, guys, we framed up our second door. This door right here is going to be screened, just solid screen. So this will give the chickens a place where they can come get out in the sunshine if they want to get in the sun and everything. So we're going to locate our screen for this and get this screened up. $44. You got that?
44.
Yep. So we'll cut us 2 44s. So here, the back side of the chicken coop there area is chicken wire, but you got metal on each side of it. So when you got inclement weather, whether it's a little bit colder or whatever, you can shut that down. So right now what we're building is just a door that will raise up and down as needed there. We've done a measurement, we've already marked it, so now I'm fixing to just cut it to length. This is the back of the coop right here. And as you can tell, it's got chicken wire on it. This chicken wire was done this way for ventilation. That way, once it's summertime, you can get good airflow through it. But if it's inclement weather, it's colder weather, you can close this off. So what I've done, they show just putting the tin up and taking the tin down. I'm going to go ahead and make a door out of it to where I can hinge it up and prop it open for most of the summertime. But if we needed to, I could go in and close it, and it'd be closed off for the night. Well, as you can see, here's my door. Well, guys, this is the second one. The first one, we used a lot of stuff we had around the house. The tin that I used on the first one was the tin left over from my shop itself. We've kind of did some test lifting on it and everything. The first one's definitely going to be heavy and probably cumbersome to move. Hopefully when we make the dolly that it goes underneath the backside to help break the ground when we get ready to move it every day. That's going to help with the first one. The tin here that you see, I went and purchased at Home Depot. This is a lighter tin. Here in our area, I've tried to get some aluminum tin. The book called for aluminum tin. It has to do with how it conducts heat. I'm hoping by going with the white tin, this is going to work along the same principle as a white truck versus a black truck. The white being cooler and the black being hotter. That's one of the things we're just going to learn here in North Texas, and we may be making a trip one day trying to find aluminum tin. But right now, I haven't located a local distributor that I can get tin from. I talked to a guy here at one of our metal stores, and he just basically told me that he didn't have any aluminum or what it would cost for me to even get it. Thought the shipping would be outrageous, so we've just made do with this. We may learn a lesson the hard way, but hopefully this is going to work out just fine for us over time. Hey guys, as always, we appreciate y'all watching. We'd appreciate if y'all would like and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Gotta get that rope down.